Hey everyone, and welcome back to Red Dead Redemption 2. On this video, we're getting a gold medal on the mission, Friends in Very Low Places. And you pick this one up from Trelawney, who is now at the camp. And it wants me to autosave for some reason. Ooh, there's a poker game we could play here. I'll have to do that at some point because I need that for a challenge.
Arthur! Are you busy, Arthur?
Why?
Well, I know you think I'm just some effete buffoon.
What?
A man of words and not of action. Hardly a man at all.
Well, I think you're as slippery as an eel in an oil slick, but still a man.
Because I think I found something interesting.
Yeah?
Have you ever robbed a stagecoach?
No, never. Well, who would have even thought? Of course I robbed a goddamn stagecoach. You know I have.
And what's the problem with stagecoaches?
The armed man attempting to put a bullet in your head?
Not quite. The odds. I mean, is it worth the robbing?
Sometimes.
I know. But, well, if you'd like to come with me, I can introduce you to a new best friend, and he's going to give you all the decent, robbable stagecoaches a hot-blooded degenerate could require.
Well, I could require a whole lot. So where do we find this friend of yours?
Roads!
Because what can possibly go wrong there?
Well, lead the way and we'll find out.
You sure seem to have got about around here.
You know me. I like to make friends in low places.
How the hell you end up down here anyway?
I could ask the same of you. I have a few commitments over this way. Some expenses to meet.
Expenses? What expenses? Gentlemen's canes and rabbits to pull out of hats?
Among other things, I had quite a nice little business going for a while. Shares in a gold mining company. Excellent returns for the investor of a certain financial standing. Until, well, that unfortunate run-in with the law.
Yeah, that's how it goes. Thanks for disappearing on us during that Sean business, by the way.
I've done my part. Each to their strengths, dear boy. You know, you boys should really watch yourselves with those two families. This is a small town. People talk. I tried to mention it to Hosea, but you know how he is. Anyway, while they're off chasing their pot of Confederate gold hidden at the end of some rainbow, let me present you with something real.
So, where exactly are we going?
The train station. The clerk there, Alden, is quite a fellow. Very informed on the comings and goings of coaches round these parts.
Ah, I see.
Here we are. We can hitch up outside. I'll make the introductions, Arthur.
Alright, so we have to complete this mission in 8 minutes and 10 seconds or less for the gold. So you want to go at least moderately quickly.
You rest up.
Enough to start you drinking. Come on. Hang back a bit and let me do the talking. We don't want to scare him off.
I heard that one.
Hello, Alden.
Hello, Josiah. How have you been?
Dandy. And you, friend?
Like I said, times are tough. My missus is a bad woman. Terrible woman.
They often are. But how's work, Alden?
Terrible. Wages got cut again. They reckon they just invented a new horseless carriage will be the end of us.
They've been saying that nonsense since they invented the wheel. The wickedness of bosses.
I know. My comrades here and I are greatly discouraged from the adequate fulfillment of our duty.
A discouraged man is no man at all, Alden. No man at all. My friend Arthur here has a present for you.
Pay him.
Here.
Ain't you kind, sir?
Call him Arthur. He's one of us, a fellow man of distinction.
Okay, well, this is perfect timing. I think you'll like this one, Josiah. It'll be coming south down the river road through Siltwater Strand.
Thank you, Alden. Thank you very much.
Oh, and Josiah, if you or Arthur are ever out Strawberry Way, ask for my colleague there, feller called Hector. He's also one of the, what did you call us again?
Discouraged men, Alden.
That's it, discouraged men. I like that.
Well, goodbye, Alden, or should I say, adieu.
Oh, adieu, Josiah.
Coach robbery tip. Coach coming south down the river road through Siltwater Strand. Valuables in strongbox. Passenger is the very wealthy Mrs. Chester Damson, aspiring but appalling opera singer. Use your imagination.
What the hell was that?
I thought you might like to see that pantomime.
River Road through Siltwater Strand, he said.
Okay, I think I know a good spot to wait. Follow me. Okay, let's go. This way. What did I tell you? Simple as can be. Seems a lot of the station workers are in on it these days. Earning a pittance, the unions are whipping them up, so they want something on the side. Like he said, there, Strawberry. Could create a lot of opportunities for a man in your line of work.
I ain't sure about going back to Strawberry after all that market business.
Didn't sound like you left anyone alive to recognize you, so I wouldn't worry too much, dear boy. All this trouble. You gentlemen are becoming quite the celebrities, aren't you? Soon you'll be on the front of a dime novel. And dead, of course.
We're hoping to be long gone before that. Dutch has a plan.
Here we are. This is the spot. Okay. This should do.
Sure. Here.
I'm hoping we won't need those.
Better safe than sorry. So what were you thinking?
Well, according to this, the loot is located in a strongbox, which is in the back. I'll put on a little performance, and you can scurry around, open the strongbox, and relieve them of their goodies.
And how do I open the strong box without threatening someone to open it for me?
This should work.
And I can do this silently?
Well, I'm hoping complete silence won't be necessary. But you're going to wish you had your earplugs. This is Damson. Oh, very good, Alden, very good. Of course, if anything goes wrong, you can wave your guns around like you normally do. Hold tight. They'll be here soon.
There it is. Right on time. Let's go. Keep your distance so they don't see you. And please leave that gun in its holster for once.
Alright, the other objective for the gold medal is to not be detected here.
I'll ride ahead and get the coach to stop. You hang back. Don't let them spot you or you'll scupper the whole thing.
Good day. Hello. I hope you don't mind my singing.
Not at all.
I'm preparing. Oh.
It's a free country.
Did you say a show?
It's a small benefit to the locals in Blackwater. Just
Mrs. Chester Damson.
singing.
Flatter me.
I flatter, buddy.
Stop the coach, my good man! Stop the coach!
Whoa! Miss Damson, why did you stop singing?
The New York audience, they were rather cruel.
New Yorkers are prigs and fools who believe Westerners don't know anything about culture.
I couldn't agree more.
Could you? It's such a small show, but would you sing something for me? I'm looking for a medicine.
Well, I don't know.
Miss Damson, you owe it to Westerners.
Tu trido lasciar, non lasciar verdi. Decreto, et trio. Trido lasciar, non lasciar verdir.
Molto adagio. Madam, I've heard enough. Might I have your card? The event is on the 23rd of this month. I can't say enough. Mrs. Damson, magnifico. So sorry, gentlemen, for the interruption. Farewell.
Alright, we got the stuff. Let's get back to Trelawney. And hopefully we did the mission quickly enough. We were clearly not detected.
Nicely done, Arthur. A little finesse for once. Well done, sir. Well done.
It was easy. You did all the work.
Teamwork, my dear boy. Teamwork.
Here you go.
Thank you. Oh, jolly good. Go see Alden from time to time. See you soon, Arthur.
Alright, gold medal. Let's take a look. We're now 34% through the story. Friends in very low places. Trelawney causes a distraction as Arthur robs a stagecoach in Scarlet Meadows following a tip-off from a discouraged worker at Rhodes Post Office. So, we completed the mission without being spotted, and we completed the mission in 8 minutes and 10 seconds or less. Alright, well, what shall we do now? Well, let's go ahead and head back into town. I think the newspaper seller is actually there now, so let's see if we can go pick up a newspaper. And I believe Alden has another stagecoach tip for us, so we can go do that.
Yeah.
Oh, and my horse needs some love. Have some oatcakes. I said have some oatcakes.
You done good, girl.
There you go.
Yep.
Oh, and that was much closer to Rhodes than I realized.
Ain't no surprise to me no more.
This guy's here.
I need some money here.
Howdy, mister.
Hey. Hey, it's good to see you again, friend.
How you keeping?
I'm miserable.
Because of the leg?
Ah, no, I'm used to the leg. I mean, I've been without it a whole lot longer than I was with it. Nah, it's bunch of people. Yeah, a bunch of nasty, miserable peasants I gotta share this place with.
Why don't you leave?
Leave? Well, I live here. They're my nasty, miserable people. I've been hating on them for so long, if I forgot to hate them, I wouldn't know what day it was. Yeah, but you... Man, you ought to get out of here and you ought to stop coming back.
All right. Probably good advice.
I can scarcely believe it.
Sounds like we have a newspaper seller. I would like a paper, please.
Ah, what do you want now?
This is the St. Denis Times, number 46. It's only 19 cents. St. Denis Times Tribune, shining the truth and light since 1832. 1899 volume, whatever Roman numerals those are.
A good one. Bye then.
Alright. We will read that later.
I'm running out, Rhodes. Get 'em right here.
Okay.
For now, let's go over to the post office and get another stagecoach tip. Arthur, stop doing that.
Ah, welcome back, sir.
Oh, interesting. I can't actually get the tip on this window. I have to go to the other one. Very specific.
Hold on, I'll be right there.
Well, hello again.
I got another one. You interested?
Sure, $2.
How's things, Alden?
Good. All right, this is a little different. Take the coach and deliver it to my contact. He'll pay you well for it. It's a fragile cargo, so go easy.
Okay. But the money best be right.
Oh, it is, Arthur. I promise, it's very right.
Coach robbery tip. Head north up the road past Face Rock. Wagon full of antiques coming from the northeast headed for a buyer in Rhodes. Should only be a couple of guards. Delivered to Seamus at Emerald Ranch. Careful not to damage the wagon or the cargo. And that actually is legitimate. You can damage the cargo, and I believe they pay you less. Oops. Sorry, lady. Didn't mean to be rude.
Hey there, girl.
Alright, so we should have a marker on the map. And we do all the way up here. Let's head on over.
Yeah.
If I happen to see something I need on the way, I will definitely take it down. I'm still looking for a buck. And of course, an oriole and a robin and...
Hey.
Who's talking?
Yep.
I couldn't have drawn it prettier, no sir.
Okay there.
Oh, hey, mister. Remember me? Come on over.
Oh, it's this guy.
How you doing today? Well, you see this here? American ginseng. Take a feller from not too bad to hardy as buck in no time. Really something. Yep, you don't find this every day. Dose this in your medicine, give it some zip. Believe me.
Whatever you're selling, I ain't buying.
Anyway, I ain't gonna use all of this, so feel free to help yourself to whatever's left. You take care now.
Well, thanks. Be well, friend.
I like this guy. Some wandering botanist, I guess. Would it be a botanist? Thanks. Oh. I'm gonna call him a botanist. That may be incorrect.
Let's go, girl.
All right, let's continue on.
Yep.
What is that? Western Raven. Look different for some reason. And I should probably get my dead eye back a bit. Let's get a cigar. Not too worried about the stamina core, but dead eye gets me out of a pinch. Stamina core has never really been an issue. All right, there we go.
Whoa, back.
It's a deer, but not a buck. And actually, I don't know if I need a 3-star buck. I just need an antler. I would assume antlers are more common from the 3 stars, but I don't know for sure. So if I see a buck at all, I'll take it down and see what happens. Just giving my horse a brush.
Yep.
Let's see. Are one of you a buck? Nope.
Yeah.
Alright, this is the spot.
Easy
for the wagon to arrive. I guess I should do that in the shadows. While I'm over here, I'll brush my horse. I don't see anything. Oh, force the wagon to stop. Alright, it's over there.
Slow it up.
Move it, fella. We're on a schedule here. What's the problem?
Mislead.
Your back left wheel seems shaky to me. Looks like it's about to come off.
Yeah? Ah, shit. Maxwell, go take a look.
Right.
Well, I'm no expert, but looks all right to me.
Feels fine driving. All right, let's just get to Rhodes and we'll ask one of the stable boys to look it over. Fair enough.
Well, that didn't help me. Well, let's just go ahead and rob.
Shit! He's going for the hog!
Hi, buddy. Boom. You're good. Calm down, horse. Oh, nice. I put him in a line. Easy to loot. This game has a weird sense of valor. For some reason, that did not give me any negative hits on my valor. Alright, so you can see there are actually antiques in there, and they are fragile. So I suggest not going at full speed. Somewhere in the middle should be fine. Maybe like this speed. Well, maybe a little bit faster. I am impatient. But those can totally slip out of the back and break. I know because I did it. we've got to go to Seamus all the way at Emerald Ranch, although I don't think we're too far. We're not exactly close, but we're not super far either. Let's slow down for this turn. Take the turns nice and slow. I thought I saw it sliding. Was it sliding? Certainly looked like it. Perhaps I imagined it. Who puts antiques in the back of a wagon and doesn't tie them down? If I'm not mistaken, that is the stables I just passed. Which means we are quite close now. Yep, there's Emerald Ranch in the distance. Okay, I know where I am. Oh, whoa, slow down. Slow it down. All right, Seamus.
Figured this might be of interest to you.
There a war on I don't know about? How the hell you get it so beat up? Here.
What?
Pleasure.
I didn't get it beat up. What are you talking about?
See you again soon.
Huh. Well, I'm confused, but whatever. 40 bucks is 40 bucks. Let me get some of my stamina core back with some canned peaches. Perfect.
Okay, my girl.
Okay. Well, let's head back to camp, which is a little ways away. Oh, man, I have a temporary horse there, apparently.
Yep.
And we'll see if we find anything on the way. I don't suspect we will, but this game has lots of surprises. Yeah, do we have any bucks there? Oh, don't run away before I see you. Oh, that's a pronghorn.
Get up.
I still need pronghorns. Let's see. 2-star, 1-star. It's a buck, too. Well, because it's a buck, I suppose I should take it down. See if I get an antler. I don't remember what you take down pronghorns with. It might be a rifle. Let's see, he's right there. A rifle, yeah. That's a 1-star though. What the heck? Oh, the 2-star's over there too. Don't see the 2-star. I will go with the Springfield rifle. I cannot see. Oh, it's over there. I see you now. Barely. Got it.
Yep. Whoa, easy.
So I guess I skin it? I don't really know, to be honest. Let's skin it. Let's see. Venison meat. Nope. I don't know. Must have to be a 3-star, or maybe it's just random. Unless I can go back to it. Nope. Well, since I'm going to camp, I guess I may as well take the carcass with me. All right, let's go.
Yeah. Slow up now.
What do we have there? Deer. What are those, wild boars? I can't tell. Yep, wild boars. Oh, and it's a 3-star, of course. Well, who knows? I might need another skin. Let's take it down. I'm sure the trapper needs boar skins, so seems silly to not take advantage of a good opportunity. I still feel bad that I can't take the carcass with me. Oh, actually, I wonder if I can actually stow it, though. Yep, I can. Shove it under there. Okay. Let's get back to camp.
Yep.
Let's just cut across. I suspect I'll trip on anything. I think I know where I am. Let's go down the tracks. Yeah, our camp's in that forested area straight ahead. That looks like a buck. Are you a buck? You are definitely. You have antlers at least. Where is it? Whitetail buck, but it's 1 star. I'm not gonna bother. I'm gonna take a buck down. It may as well be a 3-star. Well, howdy.
Yeah.
Hey, who's that coming in?
I love how I never respond to him. I just keep going. Worst bodyguards ever.
There we go.
All right, people. I brought you a carcass.
Bring me something soon if you can, Arthur. All right, Pierce.
Have a good pronghorn carcass.
Okay, let's take a look. Many thanks, Mr. Morgan.
All right.
Morning, Mr. Morgan.
We are back. And I'm going to come over here to read my newspaper in the quiet. Alright, out in the woods. Okay, where is it? Newspapers. We have this St. Denis Times, number 46. Feud at the brink. Bloody shootout between families. Moonshine trafficking suspected. Dead and dying in the streets. Roads. News was received here today of a tremendous escalation of the decades-old blood feud between the Greys and the Braithwaites, two prominent local families who have been arguing since long before the war. The town of Rhodes and its residents were the true victims in a fight between these two powerful families. The recent altercation originated in the Rhodes Parlor House, which is owned by the Grey family. Reports say that moonshine or money was the basis of the argument. Shots rang out, and voices screamed, and then bullets sadly hushed them. Once prominent families, the fortunes of the Greys and the Braithwaites, and other once wealthy landowners like them, have been on the wane since the war. The plantation families have been at odds since before the War of the States, claiming some mutual theft of gold or property over a century ago, a motive of which nobody can claim reliability to this day. Reports say the new altercation began when some associates of the Braithwaites entered the Rhodes Parlor House and offered customers plenty of free, untaxed liquor. Prisoner escapes. Murderer was set to hang. Score of lawmen dead in wild shootout. Small mountain town in mourning. Residents of Strawberry in fear. A prisoner set to hang for a brutal murder escaped from jail in Strawberry, setting the town on edge after a horrific shootout. The violence erupted in rapid fashion, catching the sheriff and other law enforcement off guard. Tens of lawmen are dead in what is described as the most brazen jailbreak in years. An accomplice surprised lawmen, and the normally peaceful town erupted in gunfire. The accomplice and prisoner escaped during a massive running shootout. The local doctor was so overwhelmed with the dead and wounded that he has not been seen in town since. A handkerchief said to be worn by one of the robbers was found in the tracks of their escape, with part of a tooth and other evidences of wounding. However, one official said that so many had been involved in pursuing the duo that it could have been one of the many dead that it belonged to. Quincy statue defiled. Confederate war hero. Fought bravely at Scarlet Meadows. A dispatch from the St. Denis Constable reports that the statue of General Quincy Harris was defaced in a craven act. The hero of the War of Northern Aggression saw his bravest men cut down in front of his eyes at the Battle of Scarlet Meadows in 1864. The word coward appeared on the statue, no doubt placed there by the handful of ill-advised citizens who seek to tarnish the name of a general that historians agree was a courageous military man. The battle that day was hectic and a scene of carnage, with conflicting accounts soon discredited, and General Harris is remembered as one who never turned coat in the face of adversity. A modern steam marvel. Cornwall orders fastest steamship in the world, expected to arrive within the week. Industrialist and rail magnate Leviticus Cornwall has ordered delivery of the nation's first turbine-powered steamship, a marvel of engineering from the United Kingdom. First unveiled as an experimental vessel in 1894, it was then demonstrated as the fastest ship on water. Now beginning commercial production, the Turbinia class, as it was first christened, is expected to be a private vessel for Mr. Cornwall, built to his exact specifications and including a level of opulence and grandeur not before seen on modern sailing vessels. Lawman found dead. Henry Jenkins was veteran of force. Angelo Bronte sends condolences. Foul play suspected. Officer Henry Jenkins was found dead last Tuesday of a gunshot to the head, in what has been described as an ambush that left the veteran officer slumped forward in his outhouse near the abode that he shared with his wife of 20 years. Jenkins had led an investigation against prominent local businessman Angelo Bronte, 55, who resides in a mansion on Flavian Street. Mr. Bronte has long been a supporter of local constables and law enforcement and frequently appears at social events celebrating St. Denis politicians. Some have accused Bronte of being involved in a syndicate that deals in smuggling and racketeering, though numerous officials vouch for him as a fine member of the local business community. They say that his Italian heritage is being held against him, and that Bronte is of great benefit to the community, contributing to fundraisers for local schools as well as supporting causes to help the infirm and elderly. A fifth person slain, pattern identified, message scrawled in blood. Worries intensify of plague, similar to deaths years ago. Residents of St. Denis are living in fear as the ritualistic deaths from years ago have returned. The pattern is the same. Teeth marks like those of a hyena or dog on the body are noticeable. There are messages scrawled next to the body in blood. Some had attributed the deaths to yellow fever, but others cite vampires as the cause. Saint Denis lawmen announced years ago they had caught the culprit and indeed did hang Bosco Lopez, who had spent many years living in Argentina before arriving in Saint Denis by frigate. Now that the fifth victim has been found, lawmen are expressing caution, indicating that all residents should avoid traveling alone in the evening wherever possible, and keep all residences without locks barricaded overnight. Women are especially advised to show caution, as they are more often than not the victims of attacks. The King of Corsets. Exotic finery booms in Saint Denis. Since the wife of King Henry II of France enforced a ban on thick waist at court attendance, the corset has remained in high fashion for all who can afford it, using exotic lace and stays and whalebones and metal supports. Much cherished, local artisan Algernon Wasp fashions striking corsets at his world-renowned workshop and greenhouse in the Mansion District of Saint Denis. His millinery work and corsetry are all the rage amongst the fashionable members of the higher classes, who prize his use of rare and most delicate materials, such as orchids and egret feathers. With a long list of elite and aristocratic clients from all around the world, Mr. Wasp's workshop toils into the night to make the waists of aristocrats slimmer and their heads dainty with finery. He remains an example of Saint Denis' status as a cultural capital of the world. They have fled. Lemoyne Raiders now in Texas. The ex-soldiers, renegades, and criminals that loosely comprise the Lemoyne Raiders militia have mostly fled to Texas after repeated clashes with the government and law enforcement. Preaching the Free Stater, anti-government, and anti-tax doctrine, their message soon grew tiresome for a populace that simply wants to move on after the war between the states. The scrappy militia has spent the last few years robbing government employees and institutions and regular civilians as well. After some stinging defeats, the Lemoyne Raiders fled to areas of Texas, where it is reported their disdain for paying tax or supporting the government is more readily received. A massive motif. Cliff sculpture in Grizzlies. Wayfarers in the Grizzlies have reported a massive cliff face sculpture is underway, courtesy of an yet unknown artist. Undertaken by a lone man toiling with hammer and chisel, but rarely seen. He is suspended by hemp rope and works in the beating sun to accomplish his artistic vision of carving a face into a prominent rock face. The project began several weeks ago, according to travelers, who say the man has undertaken it as an homage to his beloved wife. War brewing in Europe. Power struggle in Africa at issue. Britain killing scores of Dutch settlers. The struggle for power in Africa continues. The territories of rival European powers are being disputed once more. Great Britain has plunged into a full-scale war against Dutch settlers in southern Africa known as the Boers. Despite the belief that a compromise would be found, hostilities have commenced to crush the Boers as Great Britain rushes to send men and munitions to southern Africa. Rival European powers accuse Great Britain of threatening legitimate claims to territories controlled by others, and the gold and diamond mines there that create immense wealth. Also of concern is that the vast and unruly native populations may prove restless, ungrateful, and resentful towards their European masters. Women should keep silence, allowed to sing but not speak in church. She is subordinate to man. The first day's synod of Virginia was spent with devotional exercises led by Reverend T.M. Spriggs, speaking on giving the work of God to all people. His committee was tasked last year to study the scriptural position of women in the home and church and their duties and come to some unsurprising conclusions. Order remains heaven's first law, and it necessitates the due subordination of the ruled to the ruler. This subordination of women by divine appointment is, sadly, ignored or denied by the women's movement. The home is the special sphere of a woman, and indeed this is her throne. The church, and indeed the scriptures, forbid a woman to hold office or bear rule, lead prayer in a public assembly, and they command her to keep silence. The scriptures teach what a woman may do in church, her home, or in public. She may sing in mixed-sex devotional services, or in meetings of her own sex. The report was signed by all 5 clergymen, and they remain unanimous on the woman question, as does this newspaper, which supports the natural order of things, even though we are men of science, first and foremost. A summer outing, logros fishing and hunting. For those feeling ill, overworked, and seeking pleasure, the area of Logris is ideal for camping, fishing, and hunting. The small remote settlement in the swamps of the bayou is teeming with fish and wildlife, and for a reasonable rental, a local will act as a guide for people traveling through or angling. The settlement of Logris is self-sufficient, earning money through fishing, guiding, or working at Hagen orchards nearby. A guide for the day is not only pleasurable, but practical, as reports of aggressive alligator attacks have resulted in their services being in high demand. Bank robbed. Valentine institution recovering. Thieves cracked safes. Thieves cracked safes. The Bank of Valentine has been robbed by an outlaw gang thought to be responsible for several recent holdups and a spate of violence. The bank's manager was distracted by a female accomplice of the gang, then forced to open the vault. The safes were cracked, and it is believed that several $1,000s in cash, notes, and commercial papers were taken or destroyed. The gang tried to sneak out of town, but was soon ensnared in a gun battle. The gang evaded capture, and soon it seemed as if the entire town were after them. They were chased by authorities who were sadly unsuccessful in capturing the culprits. Coach ambushed. Assailants flee, burn barn. Search continues for robbers. A supply coach operated by Cornwall Industries was ambushed just south of Scarlet Meadows in Lemoyne. The band of thieves, numbering 4 in all, ordered the guards to abandon the coach. They then immediately fled with the stolen coach. The victims of the coach robbery gave pursuit to a local farm where the assailants were discovered later that night. During a massive gunfight, the highwaymen set fire to a barn, which burned to the ground. They escaped to the woods in the south, and authorities are searching the area for their whereabouts. The Art of Angling by Jeremy Gill. Channel Catfish. As a world-famous master of both rod and pen, it often troubles me to see this fascination with factories and machines. They can dull the senses. I have long prided myself as a fisherman free from exhibitions of vanity and self-conceit, which is why I am often asked to lecture on my extensive travels, sharing the successes of my uncanny ability to catch any fish, and also on spiritual, romantic, and economic matters. Indeed, fishing once helped me stop a major European land war, but that's another story, for another day. Catfish care not a jot for major battles, averted or otherwise. My next challenge, catching a monster-sized channel catfish. They love muddy waters and prefer crayfish over other baits. Fish in overcast weather. These mysteries of the deep detest the sun, much like our British counterparts. Happy hunting! Alright, and that's all there is for that newspaper. So, we are all done here. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.